Hi my honeys, welcome back to my channel. So here's the video you guys all have been waiting for. I did a poll on IG to see who wanted a review and 92% of you guys were like, heck yes. So here it is. I did create this eyeshadow look using the new Jeffree Star Cosmetics Blue Blood palette. It does retail for $52, but you do get 18 eyeshadows and a decent huge pan size, and the quality, you guys, of this palette is amazing. It's so heavy. It looks like a coffin. I am living for this. I did not buy the Star Blood palette just because it didn't really grab my attention as much as this one did, because once you open it up, these eyeshadows literally made me drool and I wanted to play so bad with them. It is currently sold out on Morphe and on Jeffree Star Cosmetics, but definitely sign up with your email and they will notify you when it's back in stock, or follow them on IG. So here are some of the swatches of the palette. I did have to go over twice on some of the eyeshadows because some of them came off a little patchy the first swatch, so I definitely had to go over it again. Definitely feel free to pause the video and look over on the swatches, but you guys will see the quality on how crazy good it is in the tutorial. So let's go ahead and get started. Picking up my Morphe M433 brush, and it's the only brush we're going to use in today's tutorial. I'm going to dip into the color Minty, and I'm only going to be placing this eyeshadow only in the inner corner, and we're going to work the shadow going up towards the brows, and then we're going to start to flick out the product going towards the crease. So we really want to make this look kind of look very ombre, and I really want to try my best to use a lot of the eyeshadows that are in this palette, but so far so good. This eyeshadow is so nice, so beautiful, and so that is the first shade we're gonna layer on today. Next shade I'm going to grab is I'm Cold, and we're going to place this right next to the color Minty, and we're going to buff it in, and then we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to try to buff that eyeshadow towards the brows and then flick it towards the crease. And yeah, so you want to go ahead and just layer both of these together and make sure that there is no harsh lines. So you can even go back and forth into Minty and then I'm Cold just to get that perfect blend. Then I'm going to dip into the color Blue Blood, and I'm going to place it right next to I'm Cold and buff it in. And you do want to go back and forth into I'm Cold and Blue Blood to blend them together to make it really seamless. The thing that I'm noticing about this palette, you guys, is that it does have some kickback on the palette, but it's not a big deal. I feel like for me, as long as it's not hitting the pan drastically, or if it's not performing very well, then that's an issue. But a little bit of kickback does not bother me personally, as long as the eyeshadow is performing as much as this one is. Like, it looks so good, so amazing. And the plus to you guys about this palette is that your eyes do not get stained. Well, at least mine didn't get stained at the end of the night when I took my makeup off. So maybe the primer helped. The one that I am using is the Eden primer by Urban Decay, but no staining on the eyes, and these eyeshadows so far are blending out like a dream. Then I'm going to pick up Flourishing, and we're going to buff it in right next to the color Blue Blood. And you just want to go ahead, you guys, and just do the exact same thing that we've been doing with all the other colors, and just buff it in and blend it in. I am using also patting motion, so I place the color first by tapping, and then I will blend back and forth windshield wiper motions. And you also want to have a very light pressure when it comes to blending eyeshadows, you guys. That's like the key when it comes to having a perfect blend. You don't want to be too harsh or also pack your brush with too much product. Honestly, a little bit goes such a long way, and these eyeshadows, by what it seems, you can definitely build them up without any chalkiness, and they blend to perfection. Another trick, you guys, that I like to do is whatever remaining product I have left from the color Flourishing, I do buff it in towards my brows and towards the crease of my eyes, just to make sure that everything looks really well blended and that there is no visibility of harsh lines. Still using my Morphe M433 brush, I'm going to be picking up the color Blue Monday. I love this color, you guys. It's so stunning, so beautiful. And I'm going to start to just darken up the outer corner. But with this eyeshadow, we are going to take it all the way towards the top lash line. And we're going to buff it out towards the outer corner. We are going to add a darker shade on top of that. But for now, we're going to place this one first. And basically what I do here is I go back and forth to the color Blue Monday and Flourishing and just blend both of them, so that way there's no harsh lines. Alright you guys, now it's time to darken up the outer corner. I'm going to be picking up the color Undertaker, and I'm going to apply it as if I was doing a smoked out liner. I do go back and forth with Blue Monday and Undertaker together, and I blend them back and forth until I am satisfied with the blend. Now you guys, a little confession, I actually remembered now that I used to have the Beauty Killer palette. The palette that I think it was like the first palette he ever came out with. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments section, but I don't know, I wasn't as impressed as I am with this one. Now the Beauty Killer palette has more shimmers rather than mattes, but I just feel like the mattes in that Beauty Killer palette weren't as good as it is now. If that makes any sense, I'm really impressed by the quality of these matte eyeshadows. They're blending out to perfection, and I'm really picky when it comes to my eyeshadows, especially when I do eyeshadows like this that consist of a lot of packing, a lot of blending. So I'm honestly really impressed. Now to do my half cut crease, I'm going to use my Urban Decay Eden Primer as per usual, and I'm using a Sigma concealer brush that I will list down below for you guys. And so yeah, I'm going to do a half cut crease. I feel like you guys have seen me do these a millions of times, so I'm going to go ahead and speed through this. Using my MAC 248S brush, I'm going to be picking up the color called Cullinan, and it's a really nice like white frosty color. Absolutely stunning. I'm going to be using this for the inner corner, and I'm going to take it kind of towards the center of my lid. And then we're going to go and pick up the other shade, which is called Entitled. Such a gorgeous, stunning shade. And I'm going to layer that right next to Cullinan. And you want to just blend both of these in together. The cool thing about shimmery eyeshadows is that when you lay them next to another shimmery eyeshadow, they blend to perfection together. So it's really easy not to have those lines of demarcation. And then I am using some Fix Plus to spray it on my brush to apply both of these shades. Going into Ocean Ice, I've been dying to use this color. Now, as you guys saw with the brush, it doesn't really pick up a lot of product, so it's best to use your finger for sure. But I only wanted just a little bit towards the outer corner of my eye anyways, because I really wanted to at least play with it a little bit. And then to darken up the outer corner again, I do go back into Undertaker. And then I do, with that same Morphe M433, you guys, I go back into Ocean Ice and then back into Undertaker, and I blend both of them together. Now there is fallout with Ocean Ice, so as you guys can see on my cheeks, there's a little bit of glitter on my cheeks. So if you're going to be using this color, make sure that you're doing your eyes first. But it's an absolutely stunning color. With my MAC 266, I'm going to go into Undertaker again, and I'm going to go ahead and just define the crease a little bit more. So what I normally do, you guys, it's like I'm outlining the cut crease, and then I'm just going to go ahead and buff the product upwards. Since I felt like it was a little plain, I wanted a little bit more dimension in my crease. And to blend out the edges, I'm using my Morphe M507 brush. Inner corner, I want to keep it matte, and I'm loving the color Minty, and I also apply it towards the bottom of my brow bone. My lashes, I'm going to my Blanca Flor Mink lashes in the style So Me. For my waterline, I'm going to go into my 24/7 Glide On Eye Pencil in the shade Overdrive, and then to blend that out, you guys, I'm going to go into my MAC 239S and dip it into Flourishing and Blue Monday, and then to finish it off, I'm going to go into Undertaker and take my M507 brush by Morphe to diffuse that. Using my Morphe, the S20 brush, I'm going to dip into the colors I'm Cold, Minty, and then Flourishing. And I'm going to go ahead and just start to highlight the lower lash line of my eyes and my inner corner. Alright guys, so I'm going to go ahead and show you these sponges. So this is the big one. I already got it a little wet, so it's a little damp. And so I really like this sponge because it has two flat sides, so you can definitely get underneath the eyes right here, and it feels really soft. It kind of reminds me of the Real Techniques, like the texture of it, so I'm really impressed. I really thought that once I got it wet, I thought it was going to be like kind of still a little hard, but no, it's really fluffy and super soft. So I know for a fact that it's going to be very gentle on my skin and not pull and tug and give me more wrinkles. And of course, they also have the two two little ones. This one's already wet as well, and then here's the second one, but it's dry. So as you guys can see how big it gets once you get it wet. So I'm really excited to try these sponges because I've never used any Morphe sponges. I've heard really good things about it, but I'm just really used to my Real Technique sponge, but maybe I'll end up switching. We will definitely find out. I'm gonna go ahead and go into the sponge here, warm up the product back here, and let's see what happens. This is pretty cool, so that way you don't get any foundation onto your brows. I like that, look. So amazed by that. That's so awesome. I'll let you guys know that I definitely recommend the trio set. You get 3 sponges. I don't know the price on the top of my head, but I will list everything down below for you guys. But I can definitely see myself using these sponges again. I needed a new one anyways because my Real Techniques one is about to give up on me. So I'm glad that my friend Annie gave me these sponges. I'm gonna go ahead and go off camera and finish off my skin and kind of give you guys my final thoughts on this collection. Of course, I don't have the lipsticks, I don't have the liquid highlighters at all, but I was honestly really more excited about the palette. Alright guys, so that is it for today's eyeshadow tutorial on the new Jeffree Star Blue Blood palette. Now my thoughts on this palette, you guys, it's absolutely stunning. You guys saw in the tutorial, the eyeshadows blended out so well and so creamy. Yeah, I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching today. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Comment down below, let me know if you have this palette and what your thoughts are or what you think of the palette after watching this video. Let your girl know, or if you create this look, tag me on Instagram. I would love to see your recreations. Besos, and I'll see you guys all in my next video. Bye!